there. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Hi. Oh my goodness, I feel so incredibly trolled. Let's hope this stream goes by well since a construction worker just stopped by the house right when I loaded up OBS. Like, what kind of timing is that? That was so freaking funny. But hopefully they're not gonna go to my room. Hopefully they work in another room today. Let's find out. No fear, no pain. Ooh. She's gonna have her record. Okay. I think I should be able to for 1 hour earlier. I was thinking about it. I'm like, yeah, it should be doable. We'll see though. Oh man, I feel so trolled. I feel worried. Construction dude, please don't come to my room. Please work in the other rooms right now. Eee. But for now, starting off with best boy, Harold. Wonderful Harold. Basic info, codename Harold, gender male, combat experience 41 years. Very impressive. Good for you, Harold. Place of birth, Victoria. Date of birth, September 21st. Race, feline. Height, 190 centimeters. And he's so tall. Infection status, medical tests have confirmed that no infection is present. Physical exam, physical strength standard, mobility standard, physical resilience excellent, tactical acumen excellent, combat skill excellent, originium art assimilation excellent. Yo, look at his scores. Profile. A Victorian viscount belonging to a branch of House Castor. His house holds territory in the northern parts of Victoria and is known for their martial prowess. Of course he's known for his martial prowess. Okay, you know the funniest part is, like, I came for the door. I can fix it. No, I just said I came for it, not fixing it. Like, yo. The most hilarious part was, the dude brought over a door. I don't think it's my door, though. I think it's a different room's door. But he's not here yet. So I'm just like, oh my goodness, what is this timing? By the way, I have, like, a coffee in my hand, too. I'm just, like, angrily grasping it. Or not really angrily grasping it. Just firmly grasping the cup. Like, wow, the timing. A veteran soldier, having led troops against the remnants of Gaul and answered the Duke of Castor's call to war, he's also an experienced field medic. Oh, he's a medic too. I mean, of course he is. Harold joined Rhodes Island of his own volition following the disclosure of the above information. At his own request, he currently serves as a medic in various operations. Clinical analysis, imaging tests reveal clear normal outlines of internal organs, and no abnormal shadows have been detected. Originium granules have not been detected in the circulatory system, and there is no sign of infection. At this time, this operator is believed to be uninfected. Cell originium assimilation, 0%. Operator Harold shows no signs of originium infection. Blood originium crystal density, 0.12. Operator Harold rarely comes into contact with originium. Archive File 1. Regardless of what impression Harold's background left on Rhodes Island's leadership, his arrival certainly left an impression on many operators. The sight of a well-dressed Victorian noble who had just elegantly introduced himself in impeccable King's Victorian, bringing about a burden beast full and introducing it with a completely different level of passion is bound to leave an incredible and indelible mark on the memory. Oh, I'm so happy he brought over the baby, the burden beast baby. I like that. Harold Medic, meanwhile, in the event, displays his war veteran by dropping nukes at us. Yes. They're all harm assists. All the best medics are harm assists. The first thing he did after that was request a burden beast pen. While there was some befuddlement over him claiming to be a veterinarian, it soon became clear that he was serious about being a vet here, given how much time he spends in the pen and the number of veterinary and ecology-related papers he has published in Rhodes Island's internal news group. I feel like if Harold had a choice, he would have automatically went to become a vet, as in a veterinarian. Today, his name is widely known amongst Rhodes Island's pet owners, who have seen their beloved pets become happier and healthier under Harold's care, and learn more about animals under his tutelage. How many other operators do we have that take care of animals? Is Harold like one of the first ones? Cause Our Rhodes Island has a bunch of other people, like scientists. We have, of course, movie maker, hairstylist, interior designer, artists, music people, and then we have a veterinarian. Oh gosh, I wonder how the trust farm is even going. Not everything has been smooth sailing for him at Rhodes Island, however. It was a sunny afternoon, and Harold was explaining Bird and Bee's facts to operators visiting the pen. He asked for a volunteer to demonstrate milking, and he got one, Siege, who happened to be at Rhodes Island that day. For the first time since he arrived, Harold looked uncomfortable, though he quickly recovered and began instructing her on milking. It was obvious to everyone that his movements were stiffer than usual. Very well, I admit it. I was startled at first, but then I realized I was just an old man who came here to get his men's illnesses treated and enjoy some peace and quiet. What Her Royal Highness gets up to and where she is none of my business, is it? Oh, Siege said she was interested in the habits of bird and beast. I should get the materials together now. Ta-ta! Silly Harold. Hello, hello. Archive File 2, Operation Log, May 23rd. Doctor told me that Harold's family asked us to keep a close eye on him, on his sleep and diet, and especially to limit his alcohol intake. I was therefore asked to have a look at his room at night. I had said hi to him early in the evening when I saw him heading into his room from the corridor, so I thought he'd gone to bed when I saw a bump under the blanket, only to realize that it was a pillow, and that he had snuck out. Ooh, naughty Harold. Tonight, even more revise. I frantically searched everywhere, only to find him in the cafeteria, where he was drinking with the soldiers he brought with him to Rhodes Island. I was fuming, of course, but he didn't seem the slightest bit agitated when he saw me, instead calling me over. They explained that one of the soldiers had been having nightmares of the war. Harold told me that he had put the pillow there so I wouldn't worry. They'd gotten up in the middle of the night to comfort their comrade by having a drink with them. Okay, that's sweet. I sat down with them and listened to their war stories, and how their comrade came down with his condition. It was moving. Harold said they didn't drink because they wanted to. They drank to drown their sorrows. Me with caffeine. I can't help but feel sorry for them. Maybe I can talk to the doctor, see if we can relax things a little. Come to the control room and check out the security footage when you can. They were very much enjoying themselves until they noticed you, at which point they exchanged a look and put on that pity play. Then they started partying again as soon as you left. Can't have been the first time they put on that act either, given how smooth the whole thing was. No wonder the doctor gave me a heads up. Closure. Operation Log, May 24. Thanks for the heads up, Closure. I won't be fooled again. Nothing happened today. He might have fooled me too if it weren't for a few more hidden cameras Harold didn't know about. You got so touched with their stories that you ended up drinking with them all night. We need a different person on this job, Doctor. The kids don't stand a chance against these old slicksters. Closure. Archive File 3. General, I heard you plan to assault the pass from the front. May I offer my opinion? You're the medic they're talking about. Are you questioning my strategy? No, of course not. Just making a few observations. See? This is the lay of the land. With one pass through the middle, and 3 tiny trails providing access from the side. If I were the enemy, and I was facing a commander known for her frontal assaults, I would strengthen my defense down the middle, while sending people down the trails to flank the enemy. Makes sense. Are you suggesting I split the squad and send people to attack down the trails? No. Only third-rate tacticians think that variety is the ultimate goal of tactics, but only the most cunning can fool everyone, because you can't help but leave traces of their own work. I don't get it. It's simple. Would you be willing to split your squad if I suggested it? No, that would be boring. Exactly. I just want to remind you of the potential risks. As a leader, you should be aware of all the dangers you face, and face them together with those by your side. How should I continue to assault from the front then? It's simple. Have some people lie in wait atop the cliffs, and throw down roadblocks from above when the enemy comes around to attack you from behind. That'll cut them off from their main force and protect your rear. Naturally, your retreat will be cut off too, but the fact that the enemy has split their troops simply makes them more vulnerable to frontal assault by your main force. Victory is yours as long as you can defeat them before the troops can return to reinforce. Sounds like a great idea. Let's go with that. I thought you were just a doctor, Harold. Where'd you learn all this? To tell the truth, I've led troops into battle before, but I found medicine to be far more interesting. Dang, Harold. A natural tactician. Harold, what can't you do? He has charisma through the roof. He has tactician skills. He has medic skills. He loves animals. He's nice to his men. He's also a family guy. But good for you, Harold. That's so? Well, I love battles, and so do the other kids. I would love War 2 if all wars were as adorable. In any case, good luck, General Myrtle. Ah, General Myrtle. Why is Harold getting along so well with Myrtle and her group of wargaming children? I feel like he'd be the type to own an air fryer too. And helping General Myrtle. Look, he can even play with the children. Good for you, Harold. Archive File 4. Oh, it's my turn? What were we talking about again? Ah, yes, each of us tells a story about ourselves. Spare me the look of anticipation, please. They say I've seen a lot, but it's nothing compared to what you've seen. Wait, what's that vintage you just took out? Alright, very well, here's what I say for special occasions. When I was young, I didn't have the slightest doubt about my duty. I believed I was fighting for Victoria, for the greater good, until I lost my leg. Aw, poor Harold. There's really nothing remarkable about the story. I stepped on a mine, lost a leg, spent a few months in bed, and then went back to the front lines after getting a prosthetic limb. Just simple things, you know. Gosh darn it, Harold. Hello, hello. It's a rare soldier who isn't missing a piece here or there, but I rarely tell people what I was thinking at the time. While I was lying in the doctor's tent like a mannequin, I saw for the first time my comrades being brought in, moaning in pain. Some of them recovered, others were taken away, still moaning in pain, yet others ended up with a white cloth draped over their face. For the first time, I realized that when you stripped away the glamorous exterior of glory, all that's left is the pain cries of the soldiers and hands dropping weakly off the sides of beds. That was when I started to feel exhausted by war. We've come this far, Doctor. Let me say a little more. I still remember the puzzled gazes upon me when I stepped into the world of high society for the first time. They were sharper than any sword and threatened to impale me. But I took it on the chin and kept walking. How it reminds you of Lapland? He is slightly less unhinged Lappy. He's Dapper Lappy. And heck, he is an employed Lappy. Lappy the unemployed, Harold the employed. To give your life for your country is an honor, but it should be by choice. No one was born to be sent to their death. The reason I'm still working so hard at this age is to find a place for the poor bastards who stuck it out with me all these years with so little to show for it, and to set my own mind at ease. Hello, hello. I'm excited for the new update. No, she is dapper. She really is dapper. Now, don't give me that look. I'm thankful that Rhodes Island is willing to accept a bunch of old invalids like us. With all the limbs we don't have. Besides, your burden is hardly any lighter than mine. Who's pitying who here? As someone who's been there, though, the only advice I can give you is this. There's no greater happiness than being able to eat, drink, walk, and sleep. To have a few true friends and a couple of stiff drinks. A toast to your health, though you may see the sun rise again tomorrow. A toast, I say as I sip my coffee. Yum. Promotion record. Come now, Doctor. It's not as if we've only met yesterday. Do you truly believe that I'm a noble at heart? Just the thought of it is more chilling than a bottle of the stiff stuff straight out of the fridge. These cans and bottles? Well, you know, you need the right perfumes and mouthwash for when you drunk so much that you don't dare go home and face your wife's wrath. And you need the right cosmetics for when you're down with a hangover. But have a banquet to get to that you can't miss. Interesting. Perfumes and mouthwash and also cosmetics. Dang, Harold. What can't you do? I learned this from the other nobles, of course. It's only when I became part of high society that I realized that being dressed in the finest livery doesn't make you any nobler than my foul-mouthed men. Come have a seat, and let me tell you what these are for. First, this bottle of perfume. Oh, I remember how it practically saved my life from my wife. Oh no! I want to meet his wife. Harold, may I meet your wife, please? The veteran's prosthetic limb. Harold loves Kjerag from the... Harold loves Kjerag from the bottom of his heart, but things rarely go according to plan. Let's see how this goes. Lisburn, that shameless bastard, calls us over to help out with herding this lot, and now him and his lady friend are nowhere to be found. He isn't actually thinking of settling down in Kjerag, is he? What do you think? Weren't you the one egging him on the hardest earlier? And now you're fussing over him actually going through with it? Just worried someone's trying to pull a fast one on him. Kjerag's folk are an honest lot, and if anything shady were happening, it would be us trying to fool them. You think they're swindling Lisburn? Save it, you're just jealous. You can't say that, we're soldiers. Protecting our country is our duty, and falling in love must be the result of some kind of subversive action. Hope you've got the energy to keep yelling like that during your next report. Hope you've got the barefaced cheek to talk like that during your next report. Just shut up and get back to herding already. Hey, I take being a herdsman my whole life over getting sent back to the battlefield. As if that'll happen anytime soon. Don't be so sure about that. The boss got a letter from the Duke a few days ago. I don't know what it's about, but he's been murmuring to himself since he got it. Murmuring about what? Rhodes Island. Really? Only thing I've seen him worrying about lately is his prized burden beast, like... Oh ho ho! What a good girl! Relax, relax.
People cry.
Right. That's it, girl. Won't hurt a bit.
Pains cry.
Now, Lanny. Stay calm. Don't be afraid.
The burden beast is in pain, moves 2 steps towards Harold. He attempts to dodge out of the way while calming her down, but finds himself a step too slow. Crack!
Uh-oh.
He looks down to see his prosthetic leg in pieces. Oof!
Ha ha ha! Jack? Haha, sorry boss. I know you're going to send me off to the hospital, so at least let me get my laughs in now while I still can. I'm going to send you off, but not to the hospital. Oh? I looked into it when we first arrived. The local hospitals can't help me repair this peg leg of mine. Then where do I need to go? I'm afraid Rhodes Island's the only place that can fix this. Rhodes Island, huh? I thought there's a bit of bad blood between us, though. That is precisely why you must go. This is your last chance to not have to head back into battle, and mine to not have to go back home and deal with nobles. Seriously, I'll be off right away then, sir.
Go help Harold out. We've asked engineering to take a look at your prosthetic, Mr. Kravagon. Its inner structure was already on the verge of collapse before it got stepped on. Otherwise, it wouldn't have broken with the weight of a burden beast.
Makes sense. I've been carrying a weight of 100 times greater than any burden beast after all. So, what's the verdict from the experts?
I've got good news and bad news.
Good news first, if you would.
The good news is that Rhodes Island has just obtained some new equipment that will allow us to repair your prosthetic.
Let me guess, the bad news is that you don't have the material to do it.
No, our agreement with Carlin Trade covers the purchase of the material.
Then, lack of manpower?
I'm afraid so. The technology in your prosthetic is rather advanced, and none of our operators currently in Kjerag have the technical know-how.
What a pity. After so many years of enjoying its retirement, it seems I must put my cane back to its original use.
Wait.
Hmm?
We do have someone from engineering currently traveling Kjerag. She's on holiday though, and she hasn't been in touch with our office since she arrived. So we're not entirely sure what her itinerary looks like. If we can find her, she might be able to help you.
A hunt it is then. I'll do it. Got any leads for me?
Yeah, don't underestimate Carol's charisma. I do love how you went for Dragon Breaker's autograph. Oh man, Harold's banquets must be the most fun. Courier mentioned passing some goods over to her friends. You might know something.
Courier, that would be Vice. This puts me in a bit of a pickle.
If it's not convenient for you.
No, I'll go.
But your leg.
Not to worry, I'm rather accustomed to walking with my cane. It's been my firm friend for about as long as that middle leg has.
I told him, as per request, Mr. Silverash, he really did go off by himself. Is that everything then?
Yes, I've discussed it with the doctor. Since he wants to use this opportunity to get closer to Rhodes Island, why? We're merely riding his coattails. He would not be ignorant of this. The rest is all to him.
Wow. Silverash is in on this. A little trial for Harold. Oh? I see you've come again today, Mr. Vice.
Yep, I'll be following Sir Siotis to Rhodes Island soon, so I decided to help out here a bit more often before I'm off.
Oh, that's wonderful to hear. Alright, there's an elderly gentleman who's been waiting for you for quite a while now.
An elderly gentleman? Long time no see, Mr. Vice. It's been quite some time, Lord Viscount. I thought you would have left Kjerag by now. Ha ha, you're such a jocular young fellow, Vice. Surely, my every movement is under your watchful eye, no? You know my master has long since called off surveillance on you. I'm happy for the free time myself. At least I don't have to worry about getting knocked silly. You're a very straightforward young man. I must say, I much prefer dealing with people like you. So, why'd you need me all of a sudden? Well, you see, I'm currently looking for one of Rhodes Island's master engineers to see if she can help repair my prosthetic. I've heard you know where she's gone off to. I think I know who you're talking about. But, I know, it won't be so easy for me to get information out of you. I've talked it over with the staff here. How about I help you send your letters once my leg's all fixed up, Forgive me, I cannot give out information regarding Rhodes Island operator. A Rhodes Island operator to a Victorian officer so lightly.
So he's just an officer right now. Come on, Harold, join us already.
Bah, figured it wouldn't be quite so easy. I'm afraid I'll have to ask Jack and the other lads to run around looking for her. No, that won't work. They'll just lead to a misunderstanding. Oh, what's going on here, young lady?
It's nothing. Just the stress of work's too much for me. I don't think I can take much more of it, but I can't afford to lose this job either.
I'm afraid there's much in life out of our control, madam.
Today's a rare day off for me, but I don't feel happy. Even on vacation, all I can do is sit here like some kind of fool. What joy is there in a life like this?
Young lady, would you happen to be interested in dance?
Somewhat, I guess.
Then how about admiring a disabled old fogey dancing a jig?
Huh? But your leg?
Who said you can't dance with one leg, eh?
Harold says no more. With his cane in hand, he steps in front of the young woman, giving her a bow befitting a gentleman. Huh? As she gasps in surprise, Harold begins to dance, waving his cane this way and that. First, he revolves around it, his foot moving with grace and aplomb. His cane and his leather shoe rap against the ground, the rhythm a perfect match with the music being played in the nearby stores. But the best is yet to come, as the music reaches its crescendo. He flings his cane into the air. It spins, spins, spins before he deftly catches it, like the most graceful of acrobats. All as the woman claps and cheers. It seems she too has caught the dance bug as she joins him, and together they dance merrily on the street. Dang, Harold! Passerby are unwittingly drawn in by Harold's magnetic energy. Some are happy to stand on the sidelines and applaud, while others join in with gusto. The plaza has found itself the epicenter of festivity.
Better to join in and look a fool than sit out and be a bore, as I always say.
You're right. As the music slowly draws to a close, Harold intends to use one last beautiful toss of his cane to serve as his curtain call, but...
Now of all times?
Perhaps it is due to lack of practice, or perhaps the lively atmosphere got to his head, but at the very last second, his hand slips. The cane traces a beautiful arc in the air, but its destination is far from his reach. Oh no!
Uh-oh.
As if refusing to let the show end on such a dour note, a figure streaks across the plaza like lightning, lightly tapping the cane in midair. The cane changes its trajectory, falling gently into Harold's hand. Nice save. Nice assist. And with that, he bows once more. The show is over. He takes in the thunderous applause. Do you think I could be like you one day, sir?
Now, why would you ever want to be like me, young lady? You got two good legs, a beautiful face, and plenty of time. You'll be even better than me, guaranteed.
No longer depressed, passerby. I'll try my best, thank you.
It has been a privilege to impart some courage into a young soul such as yours, madam. Now then, how long have you been watching Madame Dagenbreaker? I spotted you while I was enjoying a meal nearby. You dance well. Yes, well, if one is to hobnob around the upper echelons of society, one must put in some effort. Some nobles were fond of hiding my leg for a laugh, so I put my nose to the grindstone with the help of my wife.
Wow, what a mean prank. That is rude. I'm glad his wife helped him. His wife was like, oh, I hate those assholes. If they think they can make fun of you, Harold, well, joke's on them, but you don't need this leg to be entertaining.
Nowadays, Old Harold's one-leg dance could be considered my calling card.
What happened to your leg?
My prosthetic fell in the line of duty. As for why, I'm sure you can guess.
I see. It must have been of good quality to last so long. It's beyond repair?
Only one of Rhode Island's technical experts can fix it, but Mr. Weiss doesn't feel like telling me where she is. So what other choice have I but to sigh in sorrow here in the plaza?
Are you sighing because you can't find the engineer, or because you can't get a relationship going with Rhode Island? Both? Exactly, the wife be like, only I can make fun of you, dear husband.
Madame Dagenbreaker, you would be a most terrifying presence to encounter on a social call.
I'm not interested in your parties, but since you have time on your hands... Kolod.
What is it, madam?
Your dad needs men to sow seeds in... Your dad needs men to help sow seeds this afternoon, correct? Tell Matterhorn that this Victorian veteran will come and help.
Huh? Wait, Matterhorn, this might end up being a golden opportunity. Moreover, I'll have to face him down sooner or later anyhow.
But... are you going or not?
Of course I am.
Harold's the greatest. Harold is the most dapper noble dude ever.
I find I'm compelled to repeat myself. Madame Dagenbreaker, you'd be a most terrifying presence to encounter on a social call.
Now to be a farmer.
Dagenbreaker said Sir Enciotis asked for her help, but she's too busy, and she sent this man instead. Yup. It's been a rather long time, Mr. Matterhorn. I won't ask too many questions. You know your farm work. But of course, whenever I have the time, I head down to the fields on my land myself to help out the farmers. Those fields might be my closest friends. Good to hear. However, do wait a moment if you could. If it's field work, this cane will just get in the way. I'd like to borrow a couple of things from you to fashion a simple leg. What do you need? Some wood, a knife, some cotton, and a length of rope. Nothing too difficult.
Wow, Harold even knows DIY.
You can make a prosthetic out of that. Naturally.
Matterhorn is somewhat incredulous, but Harold gets to work like he's done it 1,000 times before. He starts with a cylindrical piece of wood, measuring out the length of his missing limb before shaving both ends of the log flat to use as his leg. Then he finds a round flat piece of wood, bores a hole through the middle, and inserts the leg through it. And with that, he's finished his simple as can be prosthetic.
I'm guessing you made ones like that, like those before. Naturally. The army gives out proper ones, of course, but battlefield conditions are fickle. If something goes wrong with yours, there's no repairing it in the middle of combat. Times like that, a simple yet practical prosthetic such as this will suffice for marching. Moreover, a proper prosthetic isn't cheap, especially not for a serviceman who will ask a lot more out of one compared to a civilian.
As he speaks, Harold carves some wood into a bowl shape, filling the inside with cotton. He then puts the bowl flush against the wooden leg and ties them together with rope, finishing off with an incredibly tight knot. He stands and takes a couple of steps before making a circle. To top it all off, he bows to Matterhorn, Mission successful, it seems. It is a somewhat comical scene, but Matterhorn can't help but applaud. If Vina becomes friends with Harold, you assure me that'd be the only reason she would come to the residence of the Duke of Castor? Yes, all because of Harold. Like, who cares about the Duke of Castor? Nah. Harold is where it's at. Harold is the greatest.
I have another one of these handmade prosthetics back at home. Whenever it's time to head down to the fields, on it goes. After all, the one I normally use has a terribly high price tag. Not that it's unworthy of it. It lasted me many years, with nary a peep out of it. I'd often joke with my men that if aught were to happen to me in battle, save my leg first. It's worth more than any compensation I get. Heh. Do you have many fields back home? We do. But not like Kjerag's. The ones at home are washed with golden wheat. But I'd say there's still plenty the same. Would you say so, my good sir?
I wonder what Matterhorn thinks of Harold. Mommy Matterhorn.
Humph. I believe that's the last of it. It is.
As the sun sinks into the west, Harold Matterhorn and the farmers stand between the fields to look at the results of their afternoon's work. As one, they let out a deep breath.
Work like this always gets one puffing out of the chest, eh, Matterhorn? You're right, I never did expect to share a moment like this with a Victorian noble like you. Ha, well, don't expect anything like that out of any others. Or you'll be sorely disappointed. How did you become a noble then? A very good question. It's like how every member of the Castor family is sighing and asking why your Sir and Theotis had to be born a man of Kjerag. We may never have a proper answer. All we can do is treat it as a just of fate. Do let your master know that the next time he is in our country, he must give me a ring. I'll ask my wife to personally man the kitchen and prepare a taste of Victorian home cooking for you all. Then you and him can stay with us a spell. And when the time comes, we can send you off with some rousing local tunes.
I want to eat his wife's cooking. Harold starts to hum softly. The farmers by their side begin to accompany him with the folk song of Kjerag. Before they knew it, it became a chorus amidst the fields, blending together songs of Victoria and Kjerag both. Wow, Harold is turning this into a full-on musical. Earlier we had a dance number, now we have the full-on singing. Good for you, Harold. The delicious wife.
Seems things are rather lively today. Oh, Vice, delivering letters again, are we? Yes. The song they're singing sounds familiar, but also a bit odd if you get me. Some old Victorian singing along with them. Still sounds pretty good, though. An old Victorian?
Vice follows the singing, only to find Harold counting out a beat as a local farmer sings. His face works its way through several different expressions before finally settling on calmness. So Harold is beatboxing now.
I could say a couple of words to Vice on your behalf, but I can't guarantee he'll listen. This is just how he is. I hope you understand. I was even more difficult to deal with when I was his age. It seems he won't need my help. What? Mr. Vice! If you'd known that things were going to end this way, and the way they did, then why did you feel the need to keep up the pretense? Mr. Vice, a soldier can never in clear conscience ask his victims for forgiveness. All I can say is, I really do love Kjerag. If possible, I'd like to wish her all the best. I'm thinking of bringing my whole family here to have a look around in the future. I just happened to pass by on the way to deliver something to that Rhodes Island engineer. You can come along, assuming you can keep up.
Vice turns and walks away, but he does not leap and bound into the distance as usual. Instead, he walks, at a speed somewhat faster than an ordinary man, heading towards the snowy mountains.
Vice is also struggling inside. Who isn't? I'm struggling too, but for me, it's more like how my stump will ache from time to time. It's not something I tell others often. Not that anybody really cares in the first place. Well then, be seeing you, Matterhorn, my good man. Wait, Sir Harold. What is it? My master just notified me that he'll be holding a banquet in a few days, and he cordially extends you an invitation. Vice, Dagenbreaker and I will also be in attendance. So that's how it is. Pardon? It seems I owe a favor not just to Madame Dagenbreaker, but to Sir Theodis as well. I just wanted to use this opportunity to establish a rapport with Rhodes Island at first, but from the looks of things, I suppose I can even hand in my onboard application tomorrow. The wandering engineer was your handiwork, wasn't it, Theodis? No, can't quite say for sure. All I can say is that we're of like mind. Me going to Rhodes Island will be a good thing for you. Me, Kjerag, and Castor. Sir Harold, do tell him that I'll be bringing some top-notch liquor with me. We'll drink till we drop.
Happy ending. Ooh. Potential unlikely encounters since Vina has officially become noble, and being a speaker of the parliament after the war, and both Enceotis and Vina are distant cousins. You can somehow see Harold being a middleman between the two. He'd be a good middleman. Like, Harold has all the connections. Look at him making friends with everyone. As one does when you're Harold. Harold. Of course his item's gonna be Legs Care Kit. Makes sense? Lisburn, I received the Legs Care Kit you so kindly sent my way. It works splendidly. This old soldier with but one leg to his name no longer must weather the winter's bite and agony, but I must admit I was taken aback to learn it hails from the pharmaceutical venture recently found by Freya's brother. Why, the poor lad was still dwelling in squalor when I was on assignment in Kjerag. It seems he's amassed quite a fortune from peddling his medicines to the Victorians, hasn't he? A new company and all its trappings, however. Upon scrutinizing the spray's formula, I couldn't help but notice its striking resemblance to the concoction I once used for mending fractures on burden beasts. Just a few additional herbs from Kjerag, and it performs like no other remedy I've encountered. Truly, you must be under Kjeragander's divine protection. Everything good with you and Freya? How is the burden beast rental business going? He mentioned plans to build an abode by Lake Silber Nerze. Why have I not seen any photographs of this endeavor? I eagerly await the day that I can pay a visit to you both. And some good news. I spoke with the chief of the Silver Ash family about you and Freya, and I'm pleased to report that he did not oppose of your union. Live your lives well, my friend. Wow, we even get a continuation of that love story, even here. Speaking of which, I find it quite difficult to fathom the intricacies of a Kjerag wedding. Forgive my curiosity, but do you exchange your vows by the serene waters of Lake Silber Nerze or in Hof Angersal before the revered statue of Kjeragander? Must the parents of the betrothed be present as well? Regardless, I wish you a joyous marriage, and should any of your burden beasts suffer a broken leg once more, simply let me know. After all, when people's fortune in war is as grim as mine, we have no other choice but to help each other replant legs and carry on. I may be a noble, but a fancy hat does not change the nature of this hapless creature underneath. I may possess the knowledge to mend the limbs of burden beasts, yet I remain at a loss when it comes to mending my own, or those of others. Allow this old cripple to extend his pity to his own kind. Mind you, through your pharmaceutical connections, explore whether there are other Victorian soldiers in need of their legs replanted. I earnestly hope that, in the near future, everyone may walk on strong, healthy legs. Harold. I like that. You go, Harold. Next Dagenbreaker. Yeah, old man veterans in Victoria are quite goated, surprisingly. Man, Dagenbreaker looks so cool. And now sip more coffee. Yum. Basic info, codename Dagenbreaker. Gender female, combat experience 25 years, very impressive. Place of birth Lithuanian, date of birth June 6. Race Cabernet, height 182 centimeters. Infection status, medical tests have confirmed that no infection is present. Physical exam, physical strength outstanding, of course. Mobility excellent. Physical resilience outstanding. Tactical acumen excellent. Combat skill outstanding. Of course. Originium arts assimilation, flawed. Profile, former 3-time champion of the Kashmir's Major, and personal bodyguard to Enceotis, the president of Carlin Trade, joined Rose Island indefinitely as an operator, as per contract between the Doctor and Enceotis, currently active in various missions as a guard, clearing paths for a team with her incomparable battle prowess. I received some feedback that most missions with her feel more like camping trips. This is not the Doctor's fault. She does this on her own, and seems to quite enjoy it too. Then there is no reason I should stop her. Yes? Mystery. Clinical analysis. Imaging tests reveal clear normal outlines of internal organs, and no abnormal shadows have been detected. Originium granules have not been detected in the circulatory system, and there is no sign of infection. At this time, this operator is believed to be uninfected. Cell originium assimilation, 0%. Operator Dagenbreaker shows no signs of originium infection. Blood originium crystal density, 0.12. Operator Dagenbreaker rarely comes into contact with originium. I know many who are highly curious about her unusual constitution. She can't use originium arts at all. At first, you might think research on her could reveal some hidden truths about originium, which could perhaps be applied to our current tech, or even weapon development in the worst case. But if so, we almost certainly wouldn't have ever seen her in Kashmir's arenas. The reality is that people with such physiques are simply completely unable to use arts. She doesn't need art, she's already powerful enough. Such cases are exceedingly rare, and if you run into her, you can just pat her shoulder and say, "Don't worry about it. There are others even unluckier than you." That's it, really. Oh, but don't actually pat her shoulder. My hand still hurts. Just touching her, she's too powerful, she's too buff. Warfarin. Yo, if she had arts too, she'd be truly unstoppable. Archive File 1. If someone wants to know more about the Kashmir's Major, you definitely can't leave out the Black Knight. To most competition knights, a championship trophy is a dream come true, but to the Black Knight, they are but an insignificant footnote in her life. And only those who know what happened behind the scenes realize just how extraordinary winning the championship thrice really was. Because they would know that the General Chamber of Commerce did not want Dagenbreaker's third victory, for fear of the competition becoming too predictable, so having her fumble and fall with her third victory within arm's reach was their most commercially viable script. The GCC arrogantly believed that everything is under their control, and thought that she would act as they wished, but she gave a reply with her actions. No. Just no. No, no, no. The assassination plot had already begun the moment the Black Knight stepped off the podium. My predecessor was there, and that's how I heard about it. As for what happened in the end, she probably only had a few minor injuries by the time she made it to the city gates. It was basically spitting in the faces of those big shots, so naturally, they couldn't just let her go, so they ended up bringing the Dark Steels into the fray. Of course, all they could manage was getting her to leave her trophy in the city. As for what came next, you know as much as I do. She met a noble from Kjerag who bought her, and from then on, she had nothing to do with Kashmiraj. I used to envy her when I first heard the story, but not anymore. I'm serious, Doctor. When I found out that you had connections with the president of Carlin Trade, I was already expecting this day to come, but... could you ask if she has any issues with the Armless Union for me? If so, I think I'll be hiding in the rafters when I see her going forward, though I doubt that'd help much. Exit from a conversation between Platinum and the Doctor. Wow, Platinum. Archive File 2. A report from a correspondent. There are many mysteries surrounding the president of Carlin Trade, Enceotis, and the most intriguing of them all is of course his bodyguard, the former 3-time winner of the Kashmir's Major, Miss Dagenbreaker. With her permission, we've shadowed her for a day. When she wakes up in the morning, the first thing she does is head downstairs to buy breakfast. After her meal, she will go out if Mr. Enceotis has work for her, or if there is Tashigata trained to conduct. Otherwise, she will exercise in the yard for about 2 hours. Dang, girl! Then copy scriptures or read in her study until noon. Then she goes to the nearby commercial district for lunch. During her lunch break, villagers will often approach her, asking for help With farm work, or to settle some trouble, there's a consensus among the locals that her help is first come, first served. And what's most astonishing is that she will agree to help them after eating. You could say she spends most of her afternoon helping the villagers, and on the rare occasion she has free time, she will head to the snowy mountains in search of something more exciting. Usually, her dinner is willingly provided by the villagers who borrowed her assistance, or she'll simply have something on the road. Then, she goes for a stroll by Lake Sobernerze before returning to her residence and calling it a day. I wonder what the villagers feed her. Yes, Miss Dagenbreaker, the living legend who left an unbroken record in Kashmiraj, is now living the simple life here in Kjerag. This only was her curiosity about her attitude towards life, but she was unwilling to share her opinion. After the writer was hung by a wooden pole on the wall outside of her residence, we were forced to take a different approach. After interviewing some random neighboring villagers, we've selected a few valuable comments from them. Hopefully, our readers can get to know her better this way. Dagenbreaker, she's a good person. Just ask around. There's no one here who hasn't received her help. You definitely have to write that down. No clue what this Kashmiraj thing everyone keeps mentioning is, but she's definitely a good Kjerag girl. An old man enjoying the shade under a tree. Miss Dagenbreaker, oh, she's an honorary member of our Anglers Association. At first, we thought someone like her wouldn't be interested, but one day she spent the entire afternoon with us by the ice hole, and it was then I knew she was one of us. Go ask the fellas who are always at Lake Sobernerze. Everyone knows her, she's our idol. A young angler. Dagenbreaker, to be honest, I was worried when she first joined us. After all, she pretty much took my position. But afterwards, I stopped caring, yeah? Spend long enough with her, and you realize that despite how she looks, she really does care deep down. There's no doubt that she's an indispensable member of the Silverash family. An Itra with a strange scent. Ah, I wonder who that is. Can Kjerag satisfy her? That is but the preliminary question. You will soon discover that what gives her cause to leave or stay is not the satisfaction she feels, but whether her environment makes sense to her. I am pleased to note that Kjerag does indeed, and I believe her attitude towards it represents a sort of simple yet sharp perspective on this place. I can only hope that she finds the future Kjerag is as coherent. A feline who has to conceal his identity. Excerpt from the March 1098 issue of Kjerag Newsletter, 2nd edition. Archive File 3. Dagenbreaker stands halfway up the mountain, turning around to review the scenery she has grown a little tired of, and recalls the first time she faced an avalanche. She had no choice but to face Kjeragander's turnover, the local parlance for an avalanche, to save a couple who could not escape in time. It was an interesting experience for her, and she realized for the first time how she could simultaneously wrestle with nature and have fun. And have fun. Ooh, in terms of physicality, Phil and Ursus and a Forte are quite close to each other. Even Gummy can punch down steel. Which is amazing and terrifying. Then again, it makes sense. Like, these seem tough. Since then, you could always find her in the rescue team whenever an avalanche occurred in Kjerag. And as such, she has become a hero to many of the locals. Honestly, I'm only trying to entertain myself, she thinks. These days, Kjerag's avalanche warning system is more than sufficient. The day before one occurs, the monitoring center sounds an alarm to warn the residents and pedestrians at the foot of the mountain to evacuate. And the mountain is close to everyone and anyone. With her as a sole exception, when she sees the locals watching her walk into the snowy mounts with surprise in their eyes, she thinks she did not come here to win or lose. For her, there's no victory or defeat against an avalanche. After all, what even counts as a win? To survive? If so, then naturally she's on a winning streak. But if it requires her to cut down her foe, then she has never once succeeded. But this does not dishearten her, for she finds it quite enjoyable to challenge something she cannot defeat. Besides, as long as she lives, she can try again and again, and perhaps one day, she might just succeed? Even so, the Kashmiraj have regarded her as an insurmountable wall, and not just that. Once they concluded she was unbeatable, they gave up entirely on trying to score victory, with their bout somehow ending up about testing their skills against hers by the number of blows they could take before falling. I like that. I like how just like, we can't defeat her anyways, but let's just see how long we last. A wave of white snow rises from the mountaintop and rolls downward. She looks up, thinking of Ensiotis and his hooded friend. She thinks of what they face is just like the avalanche in front of her, or what those knights saw her as. She pulls out the sword breakers stuck in the snow and launches herself towards the wave. They always seem to make the same choice as her. Archive File 4. Oh gosh, the Archosaurus. Like Gabrielle. Oh man, Gabrielle. The ultimate harm assist. Archive File 4, Aspirations. For the orphan living on the streets, it was survival and having a good meal. To achieve this goal, she wielded her worn-out swordbreakers and killed her way from Lithanian to Kashmiraj, turning herself from an obscure competition knight into a champion. Everyone she met on the way told her that survival doesn't count as an aspiration, that one's desire should be more complex than that. So many were so insistent that she became a little curious. As a result, the Lithanian Dark Horse tried out many other aspirations. The corrupt, intoxicating, infeasible lifestyles, she's tried them all. She's also met those with so-called nobler inclinations, but in doing so, she carefully realized that all their desires ultimately boil down to keeping themselves or the people around them alive, and to have a good meal afterward. It was then that she decided that Kashmir did not hold an answer, the answer she was looking for. And so the nation's champion chose to be exiled. By the way, the GCC probably still doesn't realize that they hadn't sought her out. She'd never actually planned on winning a third time. The conflict with Darksteel did indeed introduce unprecedented danger to her. And at the time, she had two thoughts. One was to ask Darksteel what kind of aspirations someone as strong as them might have. And second was that if her skills were lacking, then there really wasn't anything wrong with dying on the spot. Kashmir's was just that boring. In the end, neither happened, and instead, she met a young noble who claimed to hail from Kjerag. You seem to be curious about how Ensiotis convinced me to go with him at first. It was nothing special. He was just the first person I couldn't fully comprehend, and now, there are many more like him around me. I don't understand you, Ensiotis, or some of the others on this landship any more than you understand me. You may find it hard to comprehend that I lack any aspirations, but do you people really have something you're striving for? All you do is piece together the wishes of others into a huge fortress, then convince yourself that building it is a dream of your own. Let's say I ask you, what do you want to do? Can you think of anything that isn't just realizing the desires of someone else? If you could trade your life to realize your dream, people like you probably wouldn't hesitate for a second, as if you were born just for that. I've seen too many avaricious people drown in their own desires, as well as too many tragic deaths of those who did no wrong and only wanted to live. I've also seen many who managed to realize their desires and obtain the life they aspired to, but people like you have yet to see how your lives end, and that's why I chose to go with them, and why I stand before you. Just do whatever you want, and I'll make sure you live. Promotion record. Dagenbreaker is almost done packing her luggage. She stands up in the originally unremarkable living room and looks around to confirm she didn't miss anything. Going to Rhodes Island is just a relatively long vacation, so there shouldn't be a need to bring anything special. She thinks as she plans to take a final look at Lake Sobernerze from the window. As she walks across the floor to the middle of the room, her footsteps make a different sound than they do elsewhere. Hollow echoes remind her that there is something beneath the floorboards. She pauses for a moment. Of course, she knows what lies underneath. The hilt of a great sword, the very same one she used in Kashmiraj. This also brings back a few memories of the past. During her escape, the weapon was actually broken into after blocking a dark steel arrow. But then, she threw that blade in reciprocation and took the hilt with her. After all, she had no other weapons then, until she arrived at Kjerag and got her sword breakers crafted by the Carlin trade artisans. Naturally, she stopped using her greatsword. As for why, she once told Sharp that it was because Kjerag was too cramped for it. She often repeats this to others while imagining a future where she might need it, which is why she decided to stash it under the floorboards in the first place. However, she realizes now that even on the night she knew she was about to face Kjerag's biggest crisis yet, it never once came to mind. She had completely forgotten it existed until today. If not for Coincidental footsteps, she might not have realized it even after arriving at Rhodes Island. I suppose if Kjerag was too cramped, then Rhodes Island might not even have space for it either. She thinks for a moment, then suddenly chuckles for some reason before walking towards the window. She'll probably never need to use a greatsword ever again. Goodbye, greatsword. Footnotes of the past. Yo, look at her medals. She has 4 different medals. Among Daybreaker's luggage is a case exclusively for storing her medals. After making exceedingly short work of her operator exam, the remaining downtime was spent with her enlightening our HR operators as to their significance. Knight Champion of Kashmir's medal. Black medal of Cross Swordbreakers lying unassumingly in the center of a case. Design makes it immediately clear that Kashmir's tailored this champion's medal to her. She reigned for 3 straight years, and so was given 3, but only the first was personally awarded to her by the Grand Knight after usurping the defender, which is why she didn't throw it away. And why it's the one artifact of Kashmir's that she still carries with her. Commemorative enough, barely. Thanks. Inverted triangle inscribed with Kjerag's Holy Mount Carlan, not issued by any official organization, rather forged by clan head Radatos, at the request of a household under Browntail rule. Dagenbreaker had rescued said household's members from an avalanche. This one was almost 10 years ago now, but they meant it nicely, and I don't know how it looks. But the news spread, and now I got one of these medals from the Tri-Clans anytime I do something similar. The cupboard at home is full of them. She has a cupboard full of them. The Silver Ashes, sword and shield. Second medal from the left. Sword and shield motif. All of Carlin Trade knows that those wearing this medal are free to act unimpeded wherever Carlin Trade is concerned. Initially, a pass designed expressly for her by Ensiotis, but it soon became apparent nobody simply overlooks the presence of Dagenbreaker. It's worth these days instead in gently reminding others that she's affiliated with Carlin Trade. One day I forgot to wear this one, and Ensiotis went that entire day quieter than usual, and in the end asked if I had any complaints with the company. Kjerag Soldier, 3rd medal, honorary decoration issued by the Vine Bead Court, was worn by Enya herself when she formally became the Saintess. This was the biggest protest the Saintess could make back then, and I don't think much in particular about Kjerag. At most, I think I'd like to take her on. It's like, oh yes, I want to fight Kjerag. 10 years. To mark 10 years of acquaintance, Ensiotis rustled up a little gift for her, effectively commemorating her Carlin Trade decennial. At the same time, it may not have been founded when they first met, but the blueprints were already laid out in his heart. I didn't even recall what it was commemorating when he gave me this. A token of thanks, I suppose. But I'm sure he just wanted to let me know that he still remembered the big words he said back when it all began. Speaking of Kjerag, if you're ever there as a tourist and want to find somewhere quiet, you can ask me. Aw, that's cute. 10 years of being together. That's sweet. Very sweet. Dagenbreaker's stuff is surprisingly or extremely wholesome. Oh my goodness, she's everyone's idol. Now for Silver Ash.